And now moving on to our next session, which is about reimagining content delivery. I would like to welcome Dilip Vasudevan, Revathi Sanjiv Bhatia, and Sarah Samuel. A quick note about them. While I was going through their bios, especially for the sake of this introduction, what I realized was not only all of them were passionate about developing customer-centric, clear, simplified content. Another thread that binds them all together is that they are strong advocates when it comes to automation and AI adoption. And as of today, they are all actively involved in helping Cisco's journey in this space. With that, let's reimagine content delivery. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so I assume I'm loud and audible. Okay, so before I begin, I have to tell you some important news. There is good news and there's bad news. Which one do you want to hear first? Really? Okay, bad news. You know the legendary inventor, Doc Brown? He is facing a crisis. His time machine is stuck. It is stalled under the weight of process-intensive workflows. Thank you. And now, are you ready to hear the good news? So, all hope is not lost. My colleagues and I have spent countless hours in the lab trying to figure out a solution for this very problem, process-intensive workflows. Because isn't it very common in documentation? Yes. So that's why we have come up with a solution to streamline these complex workflows, simplify it, make it easy to follow.
I didn't turn on.
And I'm Sarah, and I want you to meet my colleagues, Dilip, Revathi, and Sanjiv. So we will help not just Doc Brown, but also you, so that we'll share the principles that we learned and how you can apply them so that you can travel to the future of documentation. Okay, those of you who are not familiar with Doc Brown, I'm sure everyone is, thanks to Vineet's posters and publicizing, but just in case. Doc Brown is the inventor of time travel. This is his vehicle of choice, the DeLorean. The DeLorean can break the space-time barrier when it crosses 88 miles per hour. And the power source that helps DeLorean travel to the future is the flux capacitor. This is the transformation engine. Okay, before we begin, let's start with a quote to center ourselves. It's a quote by Vincent van Gogh. Great things are not done by impulse, but by a series of small things brought together. So what we realized along the way was that our journey consisted of architecting these small innovations and finally assembling them all together to get one complete, simplified workflow. And that is what we are going to share with you today. Plus, there's a bonus. We'll take you on a spin on the DeLorean we've created. Are you ready? Okay. So please scan this QR code to get your ticket to travel to the future. Sure. Point taken.
It's okay. I won't.
Okay, all set? Shall we move? I hope you all have your tickets in hand.
Begin.
Okay, first let's look at how our journey is going to look like. Everything begins with analysis of the current state. We'll unpack the challenges, which of course I'm sure we don't need much unpacking, you're all aware of it. Then we'll activate the flux capacitor to take us zooming into the future, and that is human AI synergy. That is the catalyst. And now for the best part, a sneak peek into the future on our DeLorean. And we'll also hand over the blueprints to you, the key takeaways, the principles, so that you can also build your own DeLoreans. And we will all soon be there in the future. We'll not miss out. So why travel to the future of documentation, you may ask? I mean, we have wonderful authoring tools like AEM and Oxygen and GitHub and structured authoring and all. Is it really required? But we all know we are paying a heavy tax in terms of time. Remember that last revision that turns into 10 more, the late nights, the confusing metadata, condition presets, and so on? Well, all that has to end now. And a lot of manual processes result in error-prone documentation. You miss an attribute, the content doesn't render. So that's the status of the current state, frustrated. So what does the future look like? What are we aiming to? We are aiming to an era where we can have accelerated delivery of content. And how do we do this? By making AI do all the grunt work and leave us for the creative parts. So we can become more innovative, and we can produce strategic content. We can become experts on the product we document, design user journeys, while AI does all that manual formatting and metadata tagging and all that. We are free to think beyond our current state. We have time. So the status will be optimized. So let's stop being content technicians and begin engineering content so that we are architects of the future. Over to Dilip to show you how to activate the flux capacitor.
Thank you, Sarah. Hi, everyone. I know the lunch was a little heavy, but you can increase the volume a bit more.
Hi.
So, like Sarah mentioned, we need to activate the flux capacitor. And what is the flux capacitor? It is the synergy between human intelligence and AI. It is not either or, it has to be together. And this is mainly built on 4 main pillars. The first one is precision at speed. It's not just about being fast. Reaching the end line first does not help you. You have to be right as well. AI helps us create precision content that helps keep pace with our current requirements. Because like somebody mentioned earlier, right? They are creating 100 features in one day. So to keep pace with that, we need some help, obviously. The next pillar is consistency by design. AI helps us establish proper structures and keeps the voice similar no matter what document you're working on. It could be configuration guide, it can be installation guide. It helps us keep the same structure throughout the portfolio. And we are not taking out the human in the loop. The human in the loop is the most important part. We are giving them a better dashboard to make it. They can concentrate on storytelling and strategy instead of trying to manually update maps and tables, etc. And Trust and compliance is the final pillar. We all know AI hallucinates, right? It is not a new idea. But when we follow all this process, we get a very reviewable workflow that helps us gather proper documentation without errors. Now, to chart your course, you cannot start your journey without a map, right? You don't know where your destination lies. As we know, Marty McFly did not start saving the entire timeline in one shot. He had to eat 88 miles per hour first, so that was his first task. And in our case, what should we do, right? We should assess our present. Where are we? Where is our data? Is it in silos? Is it available for AI to read? That is what you should answer. Then, once you have an answer to that question, you should decide what is the point that you're trying to solve. Is that pain point still valid? That is an important question to ask. What is success for you? Chart your course. Once you chart your course, you can try and pilot a small DeLorean. It can be a small pilot. Make sure you fix all your issues there. And once you have the pilot up and running, then you can look at expanding it across your organization. And last but not the least, we know the future is a moving target. It is not a straight line, it is a loop. Make sure you take feedback and learn from the feedback. It could be good, it could be bad. Take your pick from that and learn from it. Once you have charted the course, it is time to take your first jump. Now, I know the first jump is extremely scary, right? You're standing at the edge, you don't know where you're going to land if you jump. But that is the time, right? We have to take the jump. It's a leap of faith. And what do? Like I mentioned earlier, identify what is your pain point. What is the time drain that you're looking at? What is, it does not have to be the most complex issue. Look at the most repetitive issue that you have in your process. Try to automate that. Try to incorporate AI into it. Make it simplify the workflow. Once you identify your pain point, then you can create pilot program. And what does a small pilot do? It gives you a proper ROI. You know what you're getting out of it. You can show your success. Once you have a definite ROI, then you can think. If you get stuck, you are not the only person who is trying to do this. There are multiple other teams, multiple other people who have already tread this track. They know where they've succeeded and where they lost. Learn from their mistakes, learn from their successes, and then make sure that you land on your feet and you succeed. Once you do all this, what I want you to do when you leave this room today is not to be scared of AI. Think of one problem that you have. It can be small, it can be big. The most repetitive task that you're trying to accomplish. Once you know that, take the jump, take the leap, so that you can also start this journey. Thank you. Now, to show a use case of our own, here's Revathi.
Thank you, Dilip, for setting the stage for our journey. So are you all puzzled about what could be our use case? Any guesses from the room here? Non-Cisco folks, please. Okay. Anyone here? Time travel. Okay, we transform some document. What is the document? Okay, we will soon reveal that use case to you. Okay. So to travel to the future, I'm sure you will all agree that we need a special mission, something that is iconic, reliable, and more powerful. And here is our DeLorean, the future of the documentation process, JARVIS. So we engineered JARVIS specifically to tackle all the heavy lifts in our world. Why Java release notes? Because release notes, it's like the plutonium of our documentation. We wanted to make sure that whatever we try with that, it is like the streamlined workflow is proper for everyone. So JARVIS takes a raw, messy engineering data, leverages AI, make sure that the rewrites happen at this stage, and then it processes and produces a clear, structured documentation. Very clearly, JARVIS is our time machine that is going to take us to the future. So it is built for speed, precision, and most importantly, to give you the time back for all your strategic initiatives. All right, everyone, check your flux capacitor. We are now going to enter the live demo sequence. On the dashboard, you will see our mission control. JARVIS is already powered up. The input streams are synced. And the destination is a fully generated release note document, which once took days, now ready in minutes. So here we are not generating a document. We are opening a new portal with more efficient dimensions for everyone. So let's fasten our seat belts as I'm going to initiate my sequence here. So today we have Dilip as our pilot for all your journey. So here is how easy it is to make the jump with our AI-powered release node assistant. Set the product name, the release version, then for the release note, if we want the release feature related summaries to be captured, we select yes here. Then the filter ID should be entered here. This is the filter ID that is going to be set beforehand. This filter ID is a compilation of all the features that are associated for that release. So make sure that you have that created beforehand. So next we have the list of features. If we wanted to group by the technologies, we have given that flexibility as well. Other settings as needed, we can set that. And next we need to enter the list of defects that are applicable for the release in a comma-separated format. Finally, we are expected to select a release note template. So the template here is a blank document with no content underneath except for a placeholder with that. We'll just take a look at that blank template document as well. As you can see here, we don't have any content except for the placeholders. This is what is being fed as an input to the tool. Switching back to the interface. Now let's hit generate RN. So JARVIS is going to take this input, process that, and generate the document, and will loop you all in this system for a review and approval of the content. While we wait for the output, let's take a quick look at the robust feedback mechanism that we built. So as you can see here, we have placeholder for the issues and any kind of enhancement request that you have for the tool. You can feel free to submit that. So the document is also ready. We'll take a quick look at that feedback dashboard as well. So this is built for tracking all your enhancement requests. So we make sure that your journey is smoother every time. Over to the document that we got it generated through JARVIS. Yeah, so as you can see here, the product release version and the product name is also updated automatically, and the list of features under new software features is being updated. So this we give the flexibility to the writers. If writer wants to use AI to write the feature summaries, we can leverage that. Otherwise, the manual entry, the first column there, the first row that you see is a manual feature summary that is pulled in from the feature tracking system. The next is wherever we have AI being leveraged, we will add the disclaimer in place, making sure the writers review the content and clears this off at the time of publication. And these features are also very well organized by the technology, as you can see here. Moving further to the defect details, some of the teams have behavior changes that is also pulled in from the respective defect management system. And further there, we can see the defects that are applicable for the release. All that is being made available in the generated release note. The rest of the information in this document are static info. So if we pre-fill and keep it ready, then you're good to go for publication. So this is not the end of it. We also have JARVIS generate the summary email. Yeah. So as you can see, the generated document will be attached in this summary email, and then we will also have the summary listing out the input that was fed to the system. This will be helpful at the time of troubleshooting. And the next column where we have the action items listed out. So any kind of missed feature summaries, all that will be listed here. The release note lead will use this for further follow-ups. This will be helpful at the time when they check for it. The last column is where whatever JARVIS has pulled from the respective information sources, all that is populated here. Let's take a quick look at the generated release note and published copy of it. Yeah, here is a quick glimpse of whatever the document that we saw. It's already published on cisco.com as well. The structure is clean, not much of edits required. It's directly ready for publication as well. So with JARVIS, the transformation isn't just faster, it's smoother and constantly evolving. So now that we have all seen the magic, Sanjiv will reveal the science that powers it. Thank you.
Thank you, Revathi. So now that you have seen how JARVIS works, let's see what components power JARVIS. So JARVIS is not a single AI model in isolation. It is a connected system engineered for documentation transformation. So the first component that powers JARVIS is structure template. Structure is important because it drives consistency, and consistency drives accuracy. Next we have, it's slow. So next we have feature info and defect info. So it is directly pulled from the trusted sources. JARVIS pulls all this from the trusted sources. And at the core sits our intelligent layer, which is AI powered. It processes, rewrites, and generates the content seamlessly from these trusted sources. To empower all this, we have an intuitive UI so that you can drive the output without friction. And we also built a feedback loop system like Revathi showed, so that we can improve this system continuously. And finally, we have observability. So this we track, through this we track the usage of JARVIS and its features so that we can improve again in case anything goes wrong. Now let's quantify what this transformation actually means. So we are saving approximately 1,000 hours annually. And let's see the calculation. Each release note takes approximately 5 hours to produce. And if you have 10 release notes per release for all the teams, that comes out to be 50 hours. And if you have 20 releases per year, so that comes out to be 1,000 hours. So this is not actually, this is reclaimed capacity, the time that you actually spent previously on formatting the loops and compiling the inputs from different sources. And in practical terms, this time is now given back to the team for higher value work. So you can now spend this time on technically making your document more accurate and technically accurate. So next we have content precision. So the document is now more precise, more consistent. There are fewer edits because there is no copying and pasting from different sources. So what this means, we are not only working faster, we are also working better. Next we have ease of use. So our feedback survey team survey says that this system is easy to use. So this is important, right? Because if something is easy to use, you will use it again. Now, here are some key takeaways for the future. So consider documentation as a strategic asset. So documentation is very important because it builds customer trust and it improves actually customer, it improves accuracy. And the next item we have is AI, which is still a co-pilot. We are still the pilots because AI is actually helping you to do all of this, and it is not replacing your expertise. So the impact should be measurable. Whatever you are doing should be quantified. It should be actually measurable in terms of actually hours, in terms of accuracy, in terms of adoption. And finally, start small and scale smarter. Like Dilip said, start with a pilot project, improve it quickly, and that's it. So thank you, everyone. Great, Scott. We have reached at our destination, and we began with the past imperfect, and we began with the feedback formatting loops, and now we started our flux capacitor, and finally our DeLorean is operational. So thank you, everyone. Let's take questions if you have. Yeah.
The product descriptions and the other text, right? With each of those bugs that you add to the release notes, is that scrubbed in the bugs database itself, or is it scrubbed in runtime when you're compiling the document?
The defects.
No, I think
The
he's referring to the
description in
interface.
text, the bug text, right?
The bug text is scrubbed in the
Bug database.
bug database.
Okay, fine.
And the rewrite happens when we run Jarvis.
Okay, so Jarvis is basically running like a form letter compilation, right? Like in Word, you have a form letter.
Yes, yes.
You have fields and you have a form field.
Yeah, we didn't
We've
use that. We
generates that.
designed the UI according to our requirements.
Okay.
Yeah, we used Flask and Unicorn. Yeah, Python to design the UI.
Okay, thanks.
And APIs are involved to talk to those nodes.
Thank you. Any further questions?
What is the integration? What does that mean?
Yes, Mike.
How did you connect with Jira?
Using API, we connect to Jira and the bug systems.
It's
defect
just
system.
an API call.
Yes.
Okay. Via MCP server or
No MCP.
No MCP is involved.
okay.
Jira has
Via REST API call.
Yes,
Filter ID, right? Which identifies the
right.
Yes.
For the feature summary also, it has to connect with the Jira, right?
It connects with
fetch
the
the-
Jira, fetches the information, and then connects with your AI, with our in-house AI system.
The prompting is also
Sends
done in the
the
backend.
prompt and the content to the AI, gets the rewrite, and brings it back.
Okay.
Sorry, I'll just repeat. We use Jira APIs to extract the description. We can also extract the description from the feature link, the link where the feature is documented. And we send that feature to our in-house AI system via APIs again, along with prompts, dedicated prompts. And whatever is returned by the AI, we print it, format it, and print it in the release notes.
Okay. But usually to connect with Jira, you'll be using the auth tokens, right? So how did you make
Right.
sure that that is not expired?
So you have to renew it. Actually, there is a time.
I think there is a timeline of 90
Yes,
days or
yes.
so, right?
No, not 1
No,
year.
this is like an year.
Yeah.
An
API.
year. Okay.
Yes.
Default is 90, I think.
But before that, we will get a reminder, right? We will keep a track of it and make sure that is like renewed. Yeah.
It looks like you are hosting it separately, not on Cisco.com, right?
It's on IT's cloud infrastructure.
Okay, not along,
Okay.
I mean, basically not with the other documents that you publish.
This is an internal facing tool for content writers to create release notes, so it's not external.
Oh, so it means,
So SSO login is needed for this.
okay, sure. Thank you so much.
These descriptions are auto-generated. So suppose we have a specific request from our PM who wants a certain kind of a change consistently. We've been observing that feedback from him. So if we want to tweak the description based on that, what should we do? Should we send a feedback or?
Yeah. So the prompting can be tweaked to make sure that it is aligned to your expectations.
We can tweak at our
Yes,
end.
yes. We are only feeding that, right? So we have the flexibility to tweak the prompt and feed it back to the system. So the JARVIS, once it's run, it is taken care of in the next run with whatever the requirement is. It will match that.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. You're talking about the summary email, the last one?
No, there are 3 checkboxes.
Yeah. So that is a summary email that is being sent to the writer who initiates this report, right? So they will get to know and where all it is misaligned or if there is like no, right? Yeah. The release note lead will see that and make sure where all it is like no, the writer has to make sure the draft is attached to that or it's not.
Include recipients to that list, or does it go to a fixed recipe?
No, it tracks actually from Jira only. So each Jira epic has the owner of that feature. So when you click that checkbox, each bug owner actually Jira
Will receive
epic owner
that.
will receive an email.
Yeah.
There's a question on the bridge. There is one question on the bridge. So how to start actually using JARVIS? That's the question.
How to?
Start using it. So is there any
Cisco
link
folks,
or
Cisco folks or
where to
external
go and
people?
start using it?
We need to know that, right? Cisco folks, yeah.
This
We
is
can share that, right?
it's from
Yeah,
product
if it's
design
Cisco, non-Cisco, we need to know.
Sure, yeah.
Cisco folks, yeah. You can reach out to one of us, right?
Come to the booth. Then you can start using
No.
JARVIS.
If it's Cisco folks, we have a mailer. You can reach out to us, RN-assistant. As simple as that.
Hi, I understand that after the AI agent generates the template, you can review it and you can change it, right? But for the AI to generate, I think in Jira also, like it'll have to be properly populated, right? In the epics and stories and whatever you source that feature information from. So, so how do you enforce that PMs or whoever is filling that have proper acceptance criteria and descriptions and all of that?
So these are documentation epics. So the writer has control of filling in the link for the feature there. And JARVIS will go pick up the feature link from Jira, assess the feature from the configuration guide, and then generate a feature summary.
Okay, so you mean you already have some draft regarding that feature and it pulls the description from
So the
Yes,
author assigned to that doc epic will have to attach the features draft as he works along, he or she works along. So with that draft, the AI will be able to get the feature summaries.
Got it. Yeah, thank you.
We have time for more questions. Do we have more questions?
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All 4 of them were awesome. Can we give them a huge round of applause? And I must mention this. They did a live demo, guys, and it worked, right? And that's not a small thing. This is a fully functional demo that they showed us. So thank you so much for making this happen. It's not easy, with how many technical issues we've had since the morning, I think this was quite smooth and quite a sight.